Okay, so tell me a little bit about what you're trying to do. Consulting business, what's that look like?
So management consulting,
Okay.
leadership development, business development, change management,
Okay,
executive search.
great.
Yeah, so I've definitely targeted the executive as the individual that I'm building, all encompassing, building out the business model around serving in their big issues, right?
Understood.
So,
What made you want to do this? You have some history in this department?
yeah, so this is now my third venture. So I'm a true blood entrepreneur. How did I get here? The biggest bulk of it was me playing quarterback for 20 some odd years of my life, being a manager, leading teams, leading people, and having to generate success from that perspective.
Great.
Trying to find that in another capacity of life is very difficult.
Right.
And so what I did realize is that my passion for manhood, my passion for business, and my passion for leadership could all be found in entrepreneurship. And so that first started with me building a school for all boys called the Academy of Kings.
Love it.
Man, a beautiful ministry, amazing work, transformational work, obviously. But it was just that it was putting tools, business, entrepreneurship in the hands of young people.
Understood.
And so that they could actually generate wealth and put themselves in a position to thrive. And whether they became entrepreneurs or not, they would have the skill sets that would allow them to go out in life and be
the skills apply to other things.
Absolutely.
Right,
Transferable.
exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
And when you take that and you magnify it, it put me in the position of a consultant. I realized that really quickly. And,
so it gives you the ability to do it for individual clients as opposed to having to start up a whole other academy.
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay. So, all right, got it. So where are you in the process right now? Why'd you come see us?
Honestly, I came for objective views.
Okay.
Yeah, I very well appreciate people who don't have anything to do with what it is I'm doing.
Right.
Not close to it at all. Don't really know much. And
right.
So yeah, I definitely have that value. That's the number one. Two, I don't know it all. Never ever laid eyes on my back.
Right. 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 I gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. Brand building for you will be important, but I think as I'm listening to you, I would want you to be careful with it.
Okay.
Meaning that, once again, how many people are on YouTube talking about this kind of stuff? You know what I mean? So you really need to think about what's in your rearview mirror. What have you done that you can double down on now, but from a different perspective, rather than going on and doing battle toe to toe with these other places and getting distracted by the noise. How can you focus on the things that you need to double down on and generate value in your content to get that out, get your story out there and build that historical viewpoint of what it is that you're trying to do?
We're running ads on Google, so definitely going directly towards intent, search intended buyers, people who are looking for this stuff, not Facebook or...
Of course, right, yeah.
But that said, so direct response marketing is absolutely my favorite approach. But the thing that I noticed is as we extended it, the buyer, the typical person that was signing up decreased, but the qualification, who they are, increased.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because if the ROI of the process is better for you, then that's good, right? I tell people that all the time. 2 likes on a Facebook post is not a bad thing if they're the right 2 likes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? 50,000 likes on Facebook is probably the wrong thing if all 50,000 of them don't mean a thing to your bottom line.
That's good.
It sounds like that you guys have a lot of analytics and intelligence going on in your process to determine what's working, what's not working, right? And if you have enough granularity in that, then you should be able to determine, okay, we added these questions, it knocked down, but it improved. We didn't lose, we honed, right? So, I mean, that's a good adjustment, right? So then you have to determine the ones that you lost, did they need to go back to the front to get honed? Was it just not?
Good question. So what I'm doing is I'm obviously not throwing those leads out the window.
Right.
So it's been a beautiful process because in us create a new version 58 or whatever it is.
Right.
Now the people that took it a while back need a new experience. Most of those people that bought in on it did not. schedule for a conference, schedule a free consultation.
Okay. And why do you think that is?
And that's another question I was actually going to ask you. But what I believe, honestly, is just I think that people are just so used to being sold to.
Of course they are. If you are down the middle of the bell curve doing what you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to make sure that you're marketing to the best possible denominator that fits where you can serve the most good. Yeah. Because it's more than just giving them tools, right? If they feel like that's all there is, if they feel like there's not if there's not something they can get from being continually connected to your brand, then they're going to hunt for those tools, and that's as deep as they're going to go. Do they understand why they should go farther? Are you showing them what it looks like to go farther? Are you presenting enough stuff that's happened in your rearview mirror to them so that they understand why they should go farther? I love direct response marketing, but without brand building, it's not as effective as people think. They will go through and go left or right, yes, no, right? But they will not buy into it as well as they will if it is associated with the brand. If you're trying to get them to do yes, no, and you want them to go yes, and they go yes from that particular question point, that's still a digital impulse connection, a click of a button on a mouse. It is not them joining a tribe.
Right.
And if they look at what they get through door number 2, the yes door, and say, this is for me, I love this stuff, that's where you know what I mean? What's your content like? What are you creating for content right now? What are you giving them?
Yeah, across the board. Blogs, video.
Okay.
Brief posts, simple.
Okay.
Simple posts. Again, I'm a guy that likes to put metrics on things, so I don't do the unicorns and butterflies kind of.
Understood.
Okay.
I think that the people that are really looking for help will appreciate that.
Absolutely.
You really need to brand build because it's going to help your direct responses substantially. But you got to be really careful that you don't come across as just another guy that seems more competitive, right? Because the next thing you know, you're going to be making a bunch more money, but you're going to be renting yachts and cars and crap so that people think that you're more successful, so that you can get in front of them. And that is not the way you want to go. I mean, at some point you hit that world where it's just cheaper to rent stuff than it is to purchase things, and you need things for a business, and you need things for entertainment, and you do need things, and I get all that. But I'm not going to use their names because I don't want any of them to get mad at me. But there are plenty of them out there that are world famous that they're renting that stuff, and they're doing it just to attract attention. Right. So you do not want to get caught in that part of the bell curve, because then you're going to be faced with it being in a really expensive competition to out-communicate. You need to find where you can out-communicate in areas where you can do the most good, because that is not where those guys are even going to be.
Right.
I don't know, I don't know if it sounds like they're the right executives for you. Do you know what I mean? Like they may not be committed enough to the process. They may be too early in the process. They may be thinking to themselves, I may be facing executive burnout. I may be facing this. I may be facing that. And they may be going through it, but they're not really even sold that they've got a problem yet.
Got it.
So if that's the case, and you need to back that up with story and feed it to those people and remarket to those people with that particular story, so that they can look at that and go, oh yeah, I'm that guy.
You don't mind me asking, what's your background?
Well, I've been doing this kind of forever.
Okay.
I mean, I went to UCF for business and marketing,
nice.
And I loved the psychology behind it. As a matter of fact, it was a psych class that sold me on doing this.
Likewise.
So I mean, that's why I was like, oh man, this is for me, man. When I'm sitting there looking at how when they're telling you that when they're talking about image latency and flipping 3 pages in a magazine and all 3 of those images stack up to a thought process, I'm like, I'm in. I'm in. Where do I sign? This is what I want to do, right?
Persuasion.
So it's a really cool place to really stretch your brain, and being a consultant in that process is a great place to be. But you have to make sure that you get outside of your own tunnel, and you're doing it. That's why you're here. Get outside of your own tunnel, because you can get really over-focused on building those components, because those kinds of components take a lot of personal energy and mental strategy just to keep your own crap straight. When you're talking about, okay, so they go through this process, they go here, they take this, and they take that, and then do the other. Wait.
The funnel.
So you're like two steps back. That's going to lead him.
Yeah.
You know, are you mind mapping this stuff?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you get some mind maps built, it'll help you a lot. Another side of the world that I come from is visual media.
Okay.
So I look at it like a movie screen, a blank movie screen. And I want to walk through this process like I'm watching a blank movie, and I want to see what that process looks like, and I want to make sure they're getting the media that they need in order to feel. You've been successful with things that have feeling and meaning. This is a hard place to be for that, because a lot of this doesn't have feeling and meaning for these people for two reasons. One, no one creates it. You can fix that. Other problem you run into that you're going to really have to dig into deep with this, when you're burnt out, you're not sure how you feel anymore. You just know you can't be a Walmart greeter anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know you want to find that extra 20% of performance that you lost, but you're not really sure you give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
That's why you lost it in the first place.
Yeah.
So how do you get that guy back, gal back, into feeling passionate about doing what it is? Are you also, you're giving them tools, but are you rekindling passion? Look into that. See if that's a part of your problem. I don't know that it is, but I got a funny feeling that if they're going through your map and they're not feeling any way about it, they're just picking left or right, that's where you might be missing. That's where you might have some holes. I 100% believe in your process without even having been through it, just based on your background. But I'm being exposed to you in a way that I'm guessing a lot of your people that are considering you are not.
That might be true.
Make sure that they're exposed to you in a way that they can look at what you're saying going, this guy might have something here.
Yeah.
Make sure you're showing passion for leadership and entrepreneurial spirit, because that's what most of them are seeking when they want to buy tools for you.
It's true.
They don't want tools, they want passion. They'll pay for the tools if they feel like it'll give them the passion. They won't if they think they're just buying tools.
That's good. I'm taking that.
Go right ahead. A lot of people get into this world that you're trying to help people with because they want money. They want power. They want exposure. They don't have passion. They're not you.
That's true.
They're not you. And you're not for them.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? That's the down the middle of the bell curve crap that you don't need. Next thing you know, you're going to be renting a plane out here to just go get fixtures done next to it. And that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because the problem with direct sales, direct response sales, is the minute you quit putting pressure on it, the money stops flowing.
Yeah.
If people buy into your process from a standpoint of they believe in you and they can follow your passion with that brand, they won't stop just because you stop. They'll be looking for you. Where do you go? Where's this stuff? How come I don't have a new post? Where's all the info?
Yeah. Lean into video a little bit more. Focus on creating the story, which is what my YouTube platform is doing.
No, I'm glad you have one.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason you can't sell to someone in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Right? You'll get on a plane if it's right, if it's the fit.
Absolutely. So you're brand over sales.
No.
Okay.
I am kind of.
Okay.
It's chicken or the egg, right? Like you can have a great brand, but if you need cash flow now and you sit around and wait for them to find you, that's a long process.
True.
But if you're trying to do direct sales and you don't have any kind of visual for them, anything for them to chew on when they get there, you're going to be throwing away a lot of really good prospects because they're not going to buy.
Targeting my niche, which is executives and business, those that we call high performance leaders.
Right.
And then bringing them on the show, building likeness, obviously, because I have another person where I get to ask questions. I get to ask them questions now.
That's right.
And so putting them in those shoes, but at the same time, you build likeness because you're watching me with another individual.
That's what I'm talking about. That's totally what I'm talking about. That's what I mean for you to do, okay? And you're bringing on businesses that you can help them too, just with the content, because it gives them an opportunity to speak about their platform, and then you can provide them with a copy of it.
Absolutely.
Please use this. What did you just do? You just gave him a commercial about you to use across his platform.
Yeah.
How can that go wrong?
Got it.
You see what I'm saying? And don't just do audio. Do video, because video can become audio, which can then become written word.
That's true.
Because you can run them through all of these AI machines out there nowadays and spit out whatever you need off the other end.
That's true.
And you can take that video and chop it up into 30-second, 15-second pieces, which you can punch out on all of your platforms.
Gotcha. Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't try and serve them, 20 minutes worth of anything. Put that on your YouTube channel, sure. But don't serve them that on social media. They won't know what to do with it. Pick areas that you can serve best that not everybody in the world is trying to serve, and because there's no such thing as competition, right? No such thing as competition. You do it differently than everybody else does. Make sure people understand that.
Yeah, I love that. You one of the few sales marketing guys I've heard say that. Who's your competition? Wait.
I don't have competition.
Don't start that. Please don't.
I don't have competition. And I was a manufacturer's agent for marketing for many, many years. Yeah. So I've worked mostly in the outdoor industry. There's no such thing as competition. There's no such thing as conflicts.
That's good.
Those are two things that just get in the way of doing business.
That's good.
Because if you're too afraid to go after something because, it's similar. It's not similar. Mm-hmm. If you dig hard enough, there's a difference.
It is.
And if you can't sell that to the other person why it's different, then you got a problem already.